York City, the year 1930. An amazed crowd looks up into the sky. Cars pull over and stop. People step out of doorways, heads turned upward to the heavens. We see a radio transmitter tower broadcasting a mysterious voice that booms from the clouds.
Civilization must abandon war. All nations must disarm. All armies must disband. Then the ships and submarines and other implements of naval warfare must be scrapped and junked. Otherwise, I, an emissary of peace on Earth, will paralyze all electrical energy itself, will stop the very wheels of progress. You have until tomorrow.
We see the exterior of the United States Secret Service building, Washington, D.C., then an office inside, where young agent Jack Deering and his superior look out of an open window.
You hear it? That voice you heard comes from somewhere on the great American desert. How soon can you get there?
I can get there in 5 hours if I have the new super speed plane.
Well, take it, and do not come back here without your man.
Yes, sir.
Jack exits and goes to the hangar, where he dons his flying suit and aviator goggles, boards a plane, and flies away to the west. Then we see the Lovell Ranch in Arizona, residence of white-bearded scientist Jeffrey Mentor and his niece, Jean.
The voice from the sky. You heard it, Uncle.
Oh, yes, some poor fool raving on the air. Pay no attention to him.
But the voice sounded like your voice, Uncle.
Me? Nonsense, dear. Pay no attention to the voice from the sky. Aren't you going to town to pick up your stirrups for the rodeo tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going right now. Come on, boys.
Outside the ranch house, in his car, the sinister Balin, who wears a dark hat and coat and a small mustache, talks to his one-eyed henchman.
You, follow her. Don't let her out of your sight. I'll meet you in town later.
Balin gets out of the car. Jean gets into her automobile with 2 cowhands and drives away from the ranch. Patch-Eye puts his car in gear and follows her to town. Jean gets out at a saddle-maker's shop to pick up her stirrups. Inside, she stands next to Jack.
I wonder who the man with the voice can be.
Everyone is wondering, Miss Lovell.
Oh, I thought you were one of the boys. Excuse me.
Well, that's all right. My name is Deering, Jack Deering. I'm looking for a job. I'm not exactly what you would call one of the boys, but to be one, I do a heap of trying. They say the voice from the sky is located by government men as coming from this vicinity. The voice from the sky is undoubtedly in possession of the greatest secret the air can give.
Perhaps it would be a great thing for humanity if he can make the nations of the world disarm.
On the contrary, if the voice from the sky carries out his threat to nullify all electrical energy, I'm afraid that it will bring upon humanity the greatest war the world has ever known.
I must be going. If you really want to work and know how to handle horses, come to the rodeo tomorrow.
I will.
Patch-Eye watches Jean and Jack exit the shop from his parked car. Balin walks up to the car and gets in. When Jean pulls away, Balin and Patch-Eye follow her. Jack notices that their car is one he saw before, outside the ranch house, and thinks something is suspicious about them. He follows Balin's car, as Balin follows Jean's. Eventually, after making a number of turns and noticing Balin does the same, Jean, too, gets the idea that she is being followed. She suddenly speeds up. Then, after rounding a curve, Balin's car pulls in front of her and cuts her off. Jean, now trapped, opens her car door and runs in the opposite direction, away from Balin and Patch-Eye.
Follow her.
Come back here. Come back here.
Follow her.
Come back here. Come back here.
Jack runs out of his car, trips Patch-Eye, who falls, then knocks Balin down with a punch to the face.
I'll get you for that.
A fight ensues between Jack, Balin, and Patch-Eye. It's 2 against 1, and Jack holds out as long as he can, but eventually is overcome by the crooks and knocked down in an alley. Meanwhile, Jean has made it home safely to the Level Ranch and goes downstairs to look for her uncle in his laboratory, which is located in the natural caves underneath the Level Ranch.
Uncle, where are you?
The voice from the sky is about to strike. From this moment on, all electrical energy is nullified. All motion must stop. Now try your aeroplanes, your submarines, your battleships.
Uncle, please do not do this terrible thing you are doing. Please listen to me. You are bringing on the very thing you are trying to do away with.
I'm only doing what your father advised. It was he who gave me the secret of the air. It was he who enabled me to do that which I am determined to do for the benefit of humanity.
My father?
Yes, and on your person, though you know it not, is the secret which has given me the power to control the electrical energy of the universe.
Suddenly, Balin, who has apparently been able to follow Jean to the caves, bursts in and holds a gun on Jean and Mentor.
And Miss Lovell, I am here to find the secret that is somewhere on your person. Will you give me that secret, or must I take it from you?
I don't know what you are talking about.
Then I'll show you what I mean.
Touch her and you're a dead man. Go, Jean. I'll have no mercy on these men. Go!
Don't let her get away.
Jack and Balin fight. Jean runs out of the room.
Go get that girl.
All right.
Patchai runs out after Jean. Jack disarms Balin, twisting his arm behind his back.
Secret Service man, eh? Well, I'm sorry, but the secret of the air I'm after means more to my country than your life. So that's why I'll have to put you out of the way.
Where's that girl, Balin?
Go find her yourself.
Where is she?
I'll tell you nothing.
Oh, yes, you will, or I'll break your arm.
I'll never tell.
Oh, yes, you will. Are you going to tell me now?
Yeah, she got out of the house. My man's gone after her.
Is that the truth?
I swear it.
Balin struggles and frees himself from Jack's grip long enough to grab a small statue from atop a desk. He brains Jack with it, then rushes outside to jump in the car with Patchai. Jean runs to her car and hastily drives out of the front gates of the ranch. Patchai jumps into Balin's car and heads off in pursuit, eventually catching up to Jean on a windy hillside road. Jean tries to evade him, but Patchai stays right behind her, then draws his gun and begins to shoot at her tires. Jack revives and picks up the telephone to call police and describes Balin and Patchai to them before running outside to get in his car. Jean's car swerves near the edge of a cliff. Then, when one of the bullets from Patchai's gun succeeds in puncturing one of her tires, careens wildly out of control toward the edge of the precipice. Jean pounds on the brake and frantically tries to steer herself away from the edge of the cliff, but fails when the villain's car slams into hers from behind. She covers her eyes with the backs of her hands and screams as her car flies off the edge of the cliff to seemingly certain doom.